sure that I'm live. 1 second there. Alright then, let's get cracking. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. So welcome to episode 15 actually. Oops. A lot of thingy, a lot of noises over there. Yeah, so episode 15, and yesterday was pretty interesting as well because we did the stream here on Dainks channel, then watching the Init for Tech, and we saw trader SE come up, and then I thought, you know what, screw it, let's just go into it, and it was a lot of fun as well. So if you guys haven't seen it yesterday, catch it out, man. It was actually quite good. So before we get going, so hit the likes, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you're new to the channel, stick around. Trust me, it's a lot to learn as well, because what we'll go through like the charts itself in terms of BTC, Ethereum, blah blah blah, and over time, as you can see the style that I play in terms of ranges and SRs and whatnot, you can implement that in your own trading strategy as well. With crypto have dumping from 69k to around $17,000. A lot of people are leaving the space. I mean, the worst thing you could do is leave the space and not come back, but come back in the next bull run. Problem is with that, I mean, yeah, sure, you save a lot of time, X, Y, and Z, but the problem with that, NJ is freaking telling me sing Jingle Bell. What a numpty. Problem with actually leaving the space and coming back is that when you come back around the middle of the bull run. So actually, like, if you have like $1,000 to make, make it up to like, and you want to hit 100k or million or whatever, it's not going to work out too well. So stick around, see how it goes. Who knows, man? I mean, I did a little thing yesterday, but I think I'm going to do this on this stream as well. So let's get cracking there. But before I do so, before we get cracking, let's give a quick shout out to everyone that's on the stream. I mean, we got Brownholt, Jay, we've got Asgard. Oh man, Asgard's here again. We've got Zdenek. Is that, am I saying it right? Zdenek? We got Yuki, Rolf, man. We got NJ in the house as well. It's always good that you see everyone. So yeah, Brownholt, actually ban his ass, man. Freaking idiot. Love to these guys. They're always taking the piss. Well, NJ is. So, we got Unique, we got Mwet, we got, yeah, man, Valentin. We got a lot of people here, man. What's going on, man? Just put in the comment, but like, say what you want to say, man. Morning to you guys. It's Wednesday today. Freaking Wednesday. What the fuck? Halfway through the week. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is happening for the week, man? I don't even know. But from BTC ain't done shit. That's all I know. So let's get cracking on a bit of PA, macro view kind of thing as well. If you come back with numbers, bro. He's a headache, man. NJ's a massive headache. Unfortunately, I love that guy anyway. I've got to support him no matter what. Anyway, so I want to get cracking onto this quickly, right? And futures are red. Rolf said futures are red. NYSE, OEI for BTC. We'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, there was a thing that I posted about a year ago, and this is a range band environment of first quarter of 2021, of the high and the low. And as you can see, here was a shakeout which we tagged the yearly open of 2021 last year. Made the high 69k, come back down to 32k, and literally we just bounced around the mid-range, which we tagged the yearly open of 2022, and we're sending it back down. So now we're in this area where we're springing now, okay? So ideally, it's pretty much done exactly the same thing, okay? Now there's two scenarios there's a couple of scenarios, right? Different possibilities we can go through. We're just gonna talk about it macroly as well, because as you can see right now, before I even touch anything, right? You see price. Let me just remove all this shit. You see price over here, this section over here, this is all consolidation. You see, you got small body candles, they tend to lead to expansion. For example, here, small body candles leads to expansion. Yeah, it was done the wrong side. Small body candles, expansion. This one was a bit of a bigger candle over here, but as you can see, small body candles leads to expansion, right? So all it is, we've got another thing going on here. Small body candles are forming over here, leads to another expansion, okay? But yeah, smash the likes, everyone. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed as well. And yeah, let's have a look what's going on there. All right, cool. So the scenarios. Let's have a look at the scenarios that we've got. Right, if we are gonna play something like how I showed you just a couple of minutes ago. What the fuck is that outside, man? Neve's got a weird garage going on. Anyway, if we are gonna play something like the spring, right? This is scenario. This is the first possibility. Okay, first possibility is that obviously we've come down to a key important level, all-time. Oops, you see, yeah, the previous all-time high, and this you tend to get a reaction there, right? As long as it holds and we don't lose this area here, we're good to go. Potentially moving up to target 1 and target 2. Okay, that's the first scenario. Okay, second scenario from there. Once we get to this area here, once the price comes up, do we break down? We find resistance of range low, break down with bearish market structure coming back down. And if that's the case, this will be your trigger. This will be a trigger to short it back down. Okay, that's the next scenario. Or do we do something like this? Climb back up and we start range bounding back in this original range. I did this yesterday on Trader NJ's channel, but we'll do this again here. You see this low and this high over there? Do we range bound here, break out, hold above it, go to target 1, and then go back to target 2? That's another scenario, because if that's the case, this could play out right here from mid-range. We'll see if we get to range high, blah blah blah. Anyway, or from there, that's scenario 2. The third scenario is, right, we got this, okay? This, we got a weekly range coming up. So if I draw the high from here to the low over here, that's it, and I just get rid of all this shit. I'll explain about those lines in the coming future, but now it's not the time. All right. Or do we come into this, break into it? You see this last high that's over here? This is the last high that's in the market. Do we come back into it, start breaking down from the mid-range and go back down to range low? These are the 3 possible scenarios that we have in mind. We'll see how it goes, we'll see how it plays. The 4th scenario we're going to also pay attention to is this, right? What if none of that even happens? Very, very possible. I mean, you can't always think like, yeah, everything's bull, 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 or we're going to go back up and we're due for a bounce. And yeah, we are due for a freaking bounce. If you look at it, let me get rid of all this shit. Yeah, if you look at the freaking market, right, since November, we made an all-time high, 69k, and we've dropped from there to here. It's freaking 74%. They say that like the bear market, there's a retracement of about 85%. If it comes to 85%, I think it comes down to around this area here. These the consolidation there, which we would prefer to have of consolidation over here, come back down and play back up high. All right, but we have to bear in mind that anything is a possibility. You can't always just stick one-sided, and that's how we do it. Just like day trading, we got different plans, bulls and bears and whatever, but you play it as it is. If for whatever reason we don't do the plan to go up here, because if you come up back into here and hold this up, all this area was just a deviation of this range there. Okay, I discussed this yesterday on NJ's show. You can check it out as well, because that's a deviation and that's a deviation, and this could be another deviation to play back into the grand range, which I've always been stuck on banging on about, which is here. This is the grand range. What happens after, we don't know. But if for whatever reason we decide to actually reject and not do what we want to do, and it's like, you know what, screw you, and it goes back lower, the moment we came back to the previous all-time high, break down from this level, oh, fuck's sake, this level over here, that low, finds resistance, that's your trigger, long it, short it down back to target 1 and target 2. Back into the original consolidation which happened here for about 2 years. 2 years worth of consolidation, and that's what it is. Okay, so that's the macro view, right? But we don't give a shit about macro view right now. All we give a damn is about making a couple of hours here and there on the daily as we go on. So let's get cracking. Let's see what the comments are saying. So let's see. Rolf is saying, oh yeah, so cover that. Time Fong. That's right. I think Van Hog's high, you know. Lay off the heroin. And so yes, yeah, smash the likes, guys. Support the channel. Let's go on. So NJ's bought ETH. He's bought ETH. With what money, fam? I ain't got no money to buy nothing. So yeah, and just bought ETH. When I cooked that crystal meth and it came out blue. You know what? It was blue in the thingy, in outside in it, but inside it was green, wasn't it? But yeah, man, crystal meth, you can make that off Sudafed. Really easy stuff as well to make as well. Don't make crystal meth, guys. I might get cancelled off YouTube for that. So man needs to work on his chemistry skill. Shit. Alright then, let's go. So, I made lemonade. What a bellend. Alright then, so where are we, okay? We are now here, right? What are these lines? What do they represent? Let's break them down one by one, okay? So the first line I want to cover off, right, is this blue range over here. What is blue range? This is Monday's high. So if I go on the 15 minutes, actually no, if I touch onto that, we'll go through that one by one. So the first thing is, you've got this high over here and this low over here, and that is a range bound environment. You can see it's range bounding, comes down, and all we've done, let me just remove this for a second, okay? Because this is just a lot of shitty ass lines, isn't it? There we go. And there's a lot of lines here as well. Fuck that. What's going on? There we go. Here we go. So the first thing is, right, we've got this range bound environment over here, okay? That's number one, okay? Price has come back in, and now we're back below it, alright? Do we find rejection off the weekly open? So this is, you break this down slowly, right? The first one is, right, so obviously I've got the weekly open marked out, and you can see prices got below it, got above it, got below it. Do we find rejection? Do we find resistance off here to break down, to play it down back to the previous all-time high, break down below here, blah, blah, and go back taking out these liquidities over here, okay? So that's one scenario there. Second scenario you got to look at is that if we reclaim, do I long it over here? Confirmation will be around over here and then play back high, okay? Taking out this high over here, which was yesterday's high, okay? That's the second scenario. The third scenario that you gotta look at is, okay, how do I narrow things down and how do I pinpoint more certain levels? Because if you look here, I've got a huge level over here and a huge level there, and price is below it. Do we have some sort of range we can play in, right? I mean, that's the way I like to look at why, like, price is always in a range. Let me write this down for you guys. Price is always in a range. Price is always in a range, just gotta find it. It's simple as that. Price is always in a range, just gotta find it. Don't believe me? I'll show you, alright? I showed you on the daily, price was in a range over here. You see? This is a range. Price is in a range. Over here, price is in a range. This is a macro range, the price is in a range. Okay, then we broke out and went higher. Okay, price is always in a range. Doesn't matter which time frame you're looking at, price is always in a goddamn range. You just gotta find it. It literally is, you just gotta find it. If you can't find it, and that's where it makes things a little bit more difficult. Now, let's have a look. Where do we find a range? Okay, I already drew, like, so if you guys follow me and understand what, hey, critiques in the house, what's going on? Hope you're well. Hope the kids are good as well. Joel's in the house as well from Thailand. Nice to meet you, man. Thailand is a place I want to go to as well next as well. I'm making some friends from Thailand, which is weird. Lately over the last couple of, I think, week or so. But yeah, man, it'd be nice to go to Thailand one day. It's, you know, like, I heard silk is cheap there, you know, really, like, well, as a foreigner from the UK going to Thailand, things are cheaper. Obviously in Thailand it's expensive, just like in Mauritius, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, so looking for a range. Now I like to use, right, so go on the daily, see what's going on, see what the range is going on, and first things first, right, as you know, we're on the beginning of the week itself, right, well, not at the beginning, halfway through the week, we can use Monday's range, right? Why is that? Because Monday is capping the market, right? Let me just remove this shit off. Don't know why that's come back up. You got Way in the house as well. Where's Way from? Where you guys from, man? I know I've got like a lot of people from the UK, Amsterdam, well, Holland. Sorry, that's a bit messed up there. Holland. Where else? Where you guys from, man? They got Thailand as well. Let's see, let's have a look there. So the high comes in to coordinates 21,090. Cool. That's where we are. All right, so we're stuck in that. You can see that we're stuck in the range itself. Oh, we got Hungary. That's sweet. I had my cousin actually went to go study in Hungary as well. So Monday. So yeah. So I was getting sidetracked there. So yeah, so we've got Monday's range and we're stuck in Monday's range, right? And where are we bouncing off, right? So you can see quite clearly. Here we go. We've got loads of lines here. All right. So weekly. See, you can see this weekly open is the pivot over here. You see how price just found resistance of it, and we consolidated above it. Right, just below here, we sat that back down lower. We found rejection of the mid range. Ideally, right now, it's a legitimate. You can say it's a logical play with a stop loss above the weekly open, playing it back to range low. Right, that's really it as well. That's number one. Okay, so that's a trade right there. We can see, because why can we say that? Price is going up. Right, it's taking out Monday's high, did a deviation of the range, and we stepped back into the range. The moment I stepped back in the range, and I did say that yesterday, I was long on BTC. I had my stops below mid. Yeah, I've got stopped out already. I had my stops below here, below the mid range, just for allow for any pullbacks or whatever. And if it reclaims this high off here, this high is what from this high itself when we took out liquidity. If we were to be able to reclaim it, I could actually load up heavier, or tighten my stops a lot more to where it is. But it never did. So it says stop me out. It's come back into the range. When it's come back into the range, and especially because we come back below. So when you come back in the range itself, right, and it finds resistance, mid range target 1, and if you get back below the mid range and find resistance, and then we start looking for target 2, which is the Monday's low. We're gonna take out Monday's low by the looks of it. All right, that's in my opinion. All right, it looks like it's heading towards there, so we can say we can play a quick day trade. Narrowing it down after 15 minutes. 1 second. Okay, so cool. So we got this then. Oh, we got someone from Japan. That is sweet, you know. I really want to go to Japan as well. You got that Super Mario World going over there. Thank you so much for actually, for hitting on the stream, man, Yuki. Appreciate that. You're on Twitter, I believe, as well, isn't it? Right. Yeah, so we've got to narrow this down. How are we going to play this in the 15 minutes, okay? So I'm looking at a few things, right? Number one, I'm looking at this high over here. See if price can get back into it, right? The moment price, let me get brush, see price pushing up right now. The moment price gets up, tags this block itself and rejects off it, closes below it and finds resistance. This is your confirmation right here. This is your confirmation. You stop loss above the blue box, or you can keep it above the wick itself, alright? Doesn't really matter. Then you can play it back down, target 1, and then target 2, and then target 3. And that's it. These are your set of targets. What is this level over here? This is the previous all-time high. We're looking at taking out this liquidity over here, this liquidity here, this liquidity there, and this liquidity there. That's all it is, right? So if you paid attention to what Trader Andrew was saying, trading is a game of liquidity, all right? Same thing, same shit. Nothing really changes there. That's the first one. The second one is, can we get along? Can we potentially get along? And if we're looking for longs, how are we going to long, right? Would we start longing over here once we reclaim this mid-range? Ideally you can with a stop loss over there, but like I said, we've got this block here. Price is most likely going to retest and start finding rejection up there. I would only long, right? I would start to look for longs again, right? I would look for longs to be more safe, right? Is once we can reclaim the weekly open, right? Two things why. Number one, above the weekly open, it's going to be bullish. Below the weekly open, it's going to be bearish, okay? Because we're looking for this price action there, and below the weekly open, it's going to break down, okay? Because like by the end of the week, we'll have a body, and we have the wicks, and we'll see where it goes, okay? So that's where I will start looking for longs. If we can get above the weekly open, that's number one. Why? Also number two, we take out the stops over here, which I'm looking for a rejection of. You understand? So if we can get above the weekly open, hold above it, then we can go to these targets there, playing it to range high. All right. Stop loss, I'd say keep a hard stop over here, because if we get back down and break down below here, it gives me time to exit the market, because if it shows bearish market structure for whatever reason. Make sense? So we've got Singaporeans here. That's nice from Withrow. That's beautiful there. Singapore, I believe that's where Bali's from as well. I think that's going to be my next holiday destination in bull market, not bear market. Can't afford shit now. Indonesia, man, good to have you. You right, Faris? And you got Metu in the house, man. You got Stano in the house again. How do you find liquidity? Liquidity is basically where the stops are resting. Okay, so let's just say there's liquidity resting here, right? And there's liquidity resting because that's where the stops. If you were shorting, right, you put your stops over here, right? For example, I'm just gonna do it off this picture that we got here. So if you're shorting, liquidity is gonna come here. Liquidity is there. Liquidity is here. That's where stops are gonna be resting, right? Short-term stops are resting there. If you're longing, right? Yeah. If you're no sorry. If you're shorting, no, I got it wrong. If you're shorting, liquidity is where the lows are, right? That's where people are placing the stops. So for example, right now we've taken out all these stops over here. If anyone had stops in the mid range, where I had my stop right here, of this low here, I've been taken out. My liquidity has been taken out. There's more stops over here on this side, there's more stops here, and there's more stops here, right? Short-term trading we're talking about. There's also stops here, and we can go down lower, stops here, X, Y, and Z, okay? That's where people are placing their stops. That's if I'm shorting. If I'm shorting, I'm looking to take out these stops, right? If I'm longing, right, where are stops going to be placed? Placed on the opposite side. So there'll be stops on this side, stops over there, stops there, stops here, stops here. So if I'm longing, I'm looking to take out these liquidity here, these liquidity there, because there were stops going to be placed over there. That's all it is, okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps there. If it doesn't, just ask again as well. What was the strategy of the Fibos setup instead of a default setup? Okay, so Yuki. So the Fibonacci retracement here, the setup that I've got. So if I double click on this, my Fibonacci, all it is, on style, go to style, and you got all these numbers like 0.618, 0.703, and all that shit. That's 705, 735. All I do is I change it to 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. That's what it is. And that gives me my range for this. And then all I do is play level to level. So if, let's just say this is the high and that was the low, and if I'm playing and he does a deviation, it comes back into it, all I'm playing is from level 1 to level 2. That's the mid-range. If we hold above it and start showing bullish market structure, I cut the trade. If it starts shanking down, I carry on, or I can actually compound. I'll be level 3, going down to level 4. That's all it is. That's the way that I play it. Hopefully that makes a lot more sense to you there. Okay, let's have a look. With Fro saying I'm still a beginner trying to learn. When you guys say long, short, basically do you mean futures? Alright, so long and short is basically buy and sell. That's all it is, right? We tend to use, obviously you can play the futures game, you can play whatever market you want to play. Even you can do the same in spots. It's the same terminology, just a terminology. So if I'm longing, that basically means I'm looking to buy. So I'm looking to go up. If I'm shorting, I'm looking to go down. That's all it is. So if I make this red, and I'll add some text to it as well, right? So coordinates, text, long, equal to buy, and this one is red, short equals sell, right? That's what it is. That's all I'm saying. So if I'm longing, I'm buying. If I'm shorting, I'm selling. So it's just a terminology when you go onto your the exchange you'll be using for whichever exchange, it will say long and short. That's what it tends to say most of the time, I believe. I've very rarely seen buy and sell, but that's what it is. Right, let's get cracking back to the next step. Let's set up there. So we're playing on the Monday's range. How I play this. So even here, for example, if we were to do something like this, as a long position, let's say I were to long it here, my stop loss would be hard stop there. I mean, it's kind of shit though, to be honest, isn't it? It's a 0.86 trade there. Not very good. Probably look to tighten it up there, to be honest. See how if we have any deviation, to be honest. That's my brush. If price were to do something like this, come back down, and then get back up, then I can start looking at bringing my stop loss lower, a bit more tighter, below the mid-range. Any deviation below the mid-range will give me a bit more of an open play. So yeah, that's it. So that's the second set of trading that we've got here. Now, the third set, we've got two sets of trading, two more to add on to it. This is the breakout. Okay, oops. If I just remove all this. Yeah, so once, let's just say price gets back up there. How do we play this further, right? Gets up, gets back into it, but then it decides to break down back into this range. Same thing, let it break down, target 1, go down to target 2. And it's the same thing if price were to break down from here and come back over here. Let it do its thing. If it breaks down but then steps back into the range, steps forward into here, target 1, and then target 2. That's the way you play a range bound play, right? So if price would stay into a range, whatever it decides to do, this you look for a deviation. Look for a deviation, steps back in the moment it holds range high or low, and you're playing it back down. That's what you're doing. Really, really simple, and that's range bound play there. All right. Now the breakout play, right? I'm still leaning bullish, right? I'll tell you why. Okay. So we'll go for that in just. Fuck it, we might as well do it now. Okay. Why am I leaning bullish, right? So if I look at the dollar index, right? The dollar index has come back. So if I show you, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Okay. So let's just start marking out the last high that sent the market low, right? So we're gonna do that every single time. So it's this candle here, there, right? Can you see that? That's what's making the lower highs, right? The next one, see price gets back into this area, finds resistance, breaks down, sells off. Price then comes back into it, right? And where does it come in? The last high that sent the market lower. Can you see that? Price wicks into it. Brush. Price wicks into it again and sells off. Okay. Now, as you can see, the next set, price has now come back into a block. But which block is it? It's the last high that sent the market lower. Well, they come into this one. You can use this one over here. That high, price come back into the high. Brush back into the high. Starts going lower, right? So it's the same principle we're using. Price is now making lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So price is breaking down on the downside, okay? So I'm expecting price to go a lot more lower, providing, and also, you know what, we've had a freaking strong monthly candle on the, which one is this? Delete all this shit. On the dollar index as well, coming from the monthly open. Next week is the monthly close, so we're gonna actually get some profit taking time as well. That's number one. ES, what's ES saying, right? ES is S&P. ES, right? I'll show you on the daily. What I've got here as a range bound play is 2021's high, right over there, 2021's low, and here's the mid range. And all we've done is we've done a small deviation there, and we've done a small deviation there, right? Find resistance over here and a support there. That's all it is, okay? Makes sense? Now, the fact that price is still back into here, as long as this holds here, for example, I mean, you can have a hard stop up on this low over there. We're expecting price to range bound to go back to target 1 to target 2, okay? But we've got this gap over here to fill out, right? So that's why I'm kind of leaning bullish on it. If I go on the hourly, for example, right, you can see price has a range bound effect over here. So this is the low here to this high, okay? And you can see from the range bound environment itself, we're taking up the stops, liquidity resting over here, right? And then we come back up, so consolidation, breakout, retest, do we hold back up and go for the expansion play, okay? So as long as we get above this area, this blue line, and hold above it, then I'll be like, all right, cool. The moment we break this up, we can say, we play this, and then we go a lot more higher, playing this, and then we go a lot more higher, filling up the gap, tagging up the 25% range, see if we can reclaim and go a lot more higher. That's an SR. Do we tag off that, and do we tag off that? Okay, so I'm leaning bullish on ES. I'm leaning bearish on dollar index. So which therefore means, as long BTC holds, because BTC you can see call it as an equity really as well. It does follow the equities. There's no such thing as depegging. There's no such thing as freaking like it's a hedge against inflation. It's bullshit right now. Okay, it's not real. It's not happening. So we just gotta play as how ES is playing, right? Now going to dollar to Bitcoin. Looking for this same situation, right? We talked about it in the beginning of the stream. Rewind it back if you forgot about it. About the deviation, looking back to retest potentially target 1 and target 2 there. But we've got all this to play off this range. We have to reclaim this range as well, okay? And also, I believe the 200 weekly EMA is at the bottom of this. That's where the 200 weekly EMA. So, interestingly enough, we need to pay attention to how the weekly close, okay? So we need to close above the 200 weekly EMA, and it looks decent. It looks good, just like how we did it back last year, okay? What's going on? Looking sharp, bro. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. So what's going on? So we say standard. So what does have more value in your experience? Monday's high or weekly open? Thanks for explaining. Okay. So weekly open, you play it differently. Okay. So let's just do this. Right? Another lesson for you guys there. Let's do it. So let's just say this is Monday's range. Okay. So the Monday's range, you have to play them separately, right? You use the weekly open as a barometer, as a help to give you an insight. Look what happened. Oh shit! Look what happened there. In 5 minutes. Look what happened. What we've just done as well. We literally just tagged off this. Tagged off the blue box that we highlighted there. Now all we need to do is for it to break down, find resistance of here, and then that'll be well. Right now it's valid. You can say it's valid. That's just short here. But if you want confirmation, you want to break it down below the mid-range. Once we've done that, here you go. Let's go. Right? Stop loss over there. Target 1, target 2, target 2, and target 3. Okay? Anyway, yeah. So let's answer Stanley's question, right? Bruh, I'm not gonna have my top off, man. We've got a troll here, man. He's never gonna let me go, isn't he? Prick. Alright then, so let's get back to work. So, we have Monday's range, okay? For me, I like to focus on ranges and see how it plays out, right? So, at any moment, if we have, let's just say this is the range of Monday's range, okay? And Monday's been playing that, we're now on like on a Thursday, for example, and we're up here. If we break down, find resistance after low, then that gives me my shorting opportunity to go a lot more lower, okay? And for Monday's high, same thing. If we break above the initial high and hold above it, that will give me my longing opportunity to play higher, all right? So that's the weekly play in terms of Monday's range, because price can stay here for another couple of weeks. It can do that. I've seen price play within Monday's range for 2-3 weeks straight up, right? And the weekly open, wherever the weekly open is, let's say the weekly open is here, and it reacts to it, yeah, on a smaller time frame, but price decides to do its own thing and play within the range, okay? That's one. Now the second thing is, right, like having weekly opens, okay? Now if I have a weekly open, let me delete this crap here. Let's say this is my weekly open. Make this hard. So price decided to do its thing, and weekly opens are great if you have SRs as well. So you can use your weekly open and focus that on a separate chart of SR. So let's just say I've got SR here, and SR here as well, okay? You'll see why. So this is the weekly open, it finds there, it breaks down, it comes off one SR, deviates back into it, holds above it, comes back, and the moment it holds this, right, it holds the weekly open, for example, I play it to the next SR there, and then break the next SR, go to the next SR, alright? So each one has its own merits, but you have to play separately, okay? You can't always just focus everything together. So you can mix SRs and ranges together, right? To give us a better insight. So for example, like I've mixed an SR and a range over here. So the reason why I can mix an SR and a range over here is I use one SR to play off an idea to see if we can start playing it lower. Now if I have like like 5 different, like 3-4 SRs within a range, it's going to confuse the shit out of me. So the best thing to do is have them separately on 2 different charts, and you can just flick forward, back and forth. Does that make sense? So yeah. Yeah, I think NJ should do his stream topless in it. I'm gonna speak to SC and say, yo, listen, do me a favor, don't jump on his stream yet unless he goes topless. I think SC will find that like hilarious as well, so we might be able to win on that one. So if you want to play Fire with Fire NJ, let's do it, man. I can play that game easily, and you know how I got no barriers for shit. So yeah, man. That's pretty much BTC. That's BTC for me. So NJ is looking to long Ethereum, which is fine. Oh yeah, that was another thing. We have this, okay, and this itself is holding quite well. I'm gonna just remove the ranges so it makes a little bit more sense there. So you see how this SR is actually working out. This trend line is working. Support, 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 and we've got below it, and now we're back above it, and it's now we can call it as a deviation because we're back above this, right? Now confirmation still plays for me if we can get above and hold, right? You can play along, you can generally play along off here, right? Because we're back into the range, right? Back in, you know, in this deviation there, back into this trend line itself, and you can have like your hard stop below Monday's low, right? Which will be about here, right? That's one. The second thing is we've got a couple of SRs we can play, right? SRs where? So we've got one SR there, as you can see, that's resistance, resistance, smash above it, becomes a deviation, becomes a support, and off it goes, right? That's one SR there. Another SR we have is literally this one over here, okay? Let me get a clean chart actually, fuck it. BTC, USD, let's use FTX, okay, right? I'm now showing you another lesson now. Let's do this then. Okay, let's have a look where we go. So the first SR I was saying was from, you can use this. There, that's the first SR, okay? Second SR we're saying is from this low. That's another SR there, okay? Third SR we can start looking at a lot more higher. We can start using this one here. Next SRs we can look at. You see how I pick out these lines? They're perfect. Bang on. Right? SRs aren't always equal measured, just like ranges are. Ranges are like the way I use my ranges a lot. I think how many times can you say red lorry, yellow lorry, faster? Dude, your stream is coming up, man. Your stream is coming up. I'm gonna fuck you up in a bit. But yeah, see these SRs that we can play? It takes practice, right? So you can look at it this way, right? If we're into this range here, you're playing it from this low to this high. Now that we've bounced off this SR, come back in, hold this SR, and it's a higher low from this, hold above it, we're playing it from this SR to this SR, okay? When we step back into this one, step into this SR to this SR. And that's all it is. You see what I mean about using weekly opens and whatnot, and ranges separately? You had them differently. And you can't overlap them, because if you're overlapping them, Stano, what's happening is you're just going to have too much shit on your chart. You don't even know what the fuck you're looking at. You're like, is this an SR, is this a range, is this, I'm looking at my butt crack or something like that? I don't even know, man. So, yeah, SR is kind of like ranges. They're different though, right? Support and resistance. Because support and resistance can play like, look, I wouldn't do a range off an SR. I mean, there are certain times you can, right? For example, this actually works out perfectly fine. That's a great example right there. Why is that? Because look here, the mid-range, support, choppy over here, resistance sells off, resistance sells off, deviation sells off, resistance sells off, gets back above it, holds it as support, comes down, resistance sells off. So it works out perfectly fine. There are times it works out fine, there are times it doesn't, but I wouldn't really mix them up, right? Because it just becomes too much, right? Support, SRs are like ranges, like Nabil said, very similar, but you tend to use them separately. So like, I'll be looking at this, right? If I'm looking to long, I'm like, alright, cool. I'm longing, right? thinking that this is going to be support, because now it is an SR. Support has become like resistance. Sorry, yeah, it has become support because we're coming back above it. Where are my stop losses? I could put a stop loss there, hard stop over there. It gives me time to cut the trade if we break down, right? And I can just relay this back into my actual chart and be like, you know what? Here you got my ranges, blah blah, and then I can play them back and forth. Got it? Understand? So that's it. And let's just delete all this shit now. Okay, cool. So Ethereum, let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum itself, again, same thing. Alright, so what we got here? We've got this Monday's range over here. We're breaking out this the trend line over there, as you can see. Obviously, all we've done, took out Monday's high, then we came back higher, we stepped back in. The moment we stepped back in, it was resistance, stop loss over here, playing it target 1, target 1, target 2, target 3, and then we come back lower, that'll be target 4. Do we get down to target 5? Yep. If we're going to get down to target 5, how are we going to look for it? Okay, what are the opportunities we can look for trading this shit? Yeah, it'll be interesting when Andrew and Dainks stream together. I'm always down to stream with him. It was a lot of fun yesterday, to be honest. It was a lot of fun. It was sick. So yeah, ideally, I like to see price come back to mid-range, find a resistance, because this is the SR there. You see that SR break down, and then we can go to target 1 and then target 2. That's how it is. Yeah, that will be the ideal trade, unless we reclaim the mid-range, hold above it. This is a big confirmation because we're above the weekly open, and then it'll be target 2, target 3. Okay, and then again, same thing, exactly the same thing we played. If Ethereum breaks out on the upside, takes out this high over there, takes out this high over here, reclaims this. The moment it reclaims this, let's go. Bob's your uncle, that should break out, and here we go. And if we were to break down and find resistance off this low here, right? That's resistance. Bob's your uncle. Here's your resistance. Let's break it down. Let's go down lower. Taking out liquidity from target 1 over here. Then we go target 2, target 3, potentially target 4. Okay. If we're going up higher from this side over here, where will be my targets are? Target 1 will be on here. Target 2, target 3, because this was another range over there, and then we can see what happens from there. So I'll cut the trade potentially over here. If we reclaim this and play up higher, and then we're going to go a lot more higher, right? So we'll see how it goes. That's Ethereum for me, lads. That's how it is. I think it's pretty much, I broke it down a lot of trades, a lot of potential scenarios that we've actually, fucking hell, I had a mosquito bite on my fucking arm, man. It's pissing me off like fuck out. Anyway, yeah, so that's the trade for me there. We done a few things there. We've gone through ranges, Monday's range, we've gone through weekly SRs, we've gone through SRs itself, we've gone through a bunch of different trades there. I think I'm giving like 5 or 6 different scenarios on BTC and Ethereum. So yeah, hopefully that helps out. Keep an eye on them as well. You don't need to trade. You don't need to trade and risk your money. You can just literally, this chat is going mad actually. I'll check it out in a second. But yeah, you don't need to trade. You can always just paper trade. If you're new to the whole game, paper trade, man. Because honestly, you don't want to be risking money and losing money as it is. But yeah, what the fuck's going on, man? This is kind of, I'm a bit jealous now. I'm missing on a lot of things. Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate the support. Smash the like as well, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed as well. You can. Okay, so Yuki, what kind of stream? Blah blah. Oh, yes, Imran, how's it going, brother? Walaikum salam, man. Yeah, hope that understand makes things easy for yourself, Yuki. What do you think more important, entry or exit? Exit is more important because you can enter whenever you want to. You just need to know when to exit. That's the important thing. Yeah, exit is definitely is. Any thoughts on SHIB after you close the long? So yeah, SHIB. Let's have a look at SHIB actually. So SHIB. Is that SHIB there? Yeah, back into the range. You see that? So, I was saying, as long as this holds, we took out the stops over there. It's the magnet that's doing that. So as long as this holds, to get the stop, find support, reclaim here, target 1, target 2, and obviously spiked up, right? Now you gotta be careful when you see these massive spikes. These massive spikes are scary because to me it's just like we're gonna come down and take a lot of shit, right? And that's what's happened there. Yeah, we look at these highs over there, but look where prices come up to. It's come off this range bound environment right here. That's what it's done. Okay, yeah, it's spiked above it, closed into it, and it's sold off. Right now, the problem with SHIB here, right, is we're now back into the range. So there are things that, like, if BTC is gonna go long, and if BTC is gonna go long, and we're gonna actually go a lot more higher with alts and stuff like that. Now, I was saying that on NJ's show yesterday, that like each alt, they behave differently, respectively, on its own way. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if Ethereum is smashing, going flying high. They will respect its own way. Because why? Let's just say alt is doing its thing, and we've got this, right? We've got this consolidation over here, right? Price can essentially do something like this. Brush. So bottom resistance, right? Breakdown. Let's say breakdown. You can say confirmation of here. Breaks down. You can do stop entry here. Confirmation entry is right here. Play back to target 1. Go to target 2. Potentially a pullback, deeper pullback into this area here. The moment it starts reclaiming here and holds above it, then we can say, all right, cool. Time to long it back. Target 1. And then it looks like a potential breakout is possible. You have to watch it how it goes and see if it breaks out and holds above it. It goes a lot more high, taking out these highs, X, Y, and Z. So right now, SHIB right now is looking like a pullback, like a strong pullback. We need to monitor it as well. So same time, Ethereum BTC looks like a bag of shit, man. It's a bag of shit. I want it to reclaim this low here, because the moment we reclaim here, that's your confirmation to go higher. Why? Because this is the range that Ethereum is playing, right? Ethereum is playing in this range here. Let me just do that, do this, and move it over here, okay? So, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. If we can hold, if we can hold back into this range, right? Then we can play the target 1, and we can say target 2, target 3, target 4, alright? That's how we play it there. And then this will be a deviation of this range here. Okay? At the same time, this is where I'm a bit more fishy. So this is a 2-year worth of consolidation where prices actually work. So we've done a consolidation. This is the breakout. Okay? Coming back, potentially, is this the retest before we do the expansion? Does that make sense? So ideally, when price gets into this area here and holds above range high, I'll be looking to long here. Probably add a position over here, full position over here, bang, let's go. And then we can go back into this range, that's target 1, and then we go back to target 2, see if we get to target 3, and then we see if we get break above it and go a lot more higher. But we have to play it level to level as it is. But yeah, that's for me as Ethereum there. There are potential downside to Ethereum, potential downside to crypto. Be very careful, that's why we mark out day trades, and we're not consistently holding one goddamn idea and thinking that we're going to go lower or higher or whatever, okay? So, and just got an investment opportunity for you. If I have 12 million locked up, I just need 50k. That's your Western Union actress. Dude, we need to sort that money we're thinking, you know. No, we're not, I'll talk to you afterwards. So yeah, so you have, I have an entry at 11.15, a target at 8.19. Yeah, true, I think that's fine. If BTC goes down, I think SHIB goes down too as well. Would Japanese guys be attracted to? I tell you something though, Elizabeth, NJ would actually remember this. I had an obsession with Japanese stuff, right? Like, I got samurais and shit, man. I got katanas, wakizashis and tentos. I got everything. I got swords like all the Japanese swords. Back in the days, when I was about 14, 15, it was legal to actually buy katanas from Japan and bring them over to the UK. And you wouldn't get stuck from customs at all. There was no charge to it. So I do have a set of these Japanese swords as well. Fucking dumbass. Michael Gaffrey's here as well. Then other than you, Trader SC, Trader XO, who else is good on YouTube? Yo, NJ, who else is good on YouTube? I think there's a lot. The problem is, I'll be honest with you, Michael, right? You got loads of freaking moon boys in there, right? I mean, look, I got no disrespect to Crypto Ramo and all these other guys as well. They've got their own style and whatever, but it really is. Are they really giving good advice? Are they teaching you guys? That's what you gotta look at. Cantor Clark is good. I never checked his stuff out, to be honest, so I can't really say. But you always like go in with an open mind and check it out and see what they say. But always have in your mind, are they teaching you anything? Are they giving you any good advice? Let me put myself up there. Sorry. Are they? Let's have a cigarette at the same time. I haven't had a cigarette on the stream yet. So yeah, are they giving you anything that's beneficial for you? If they're not giving you anything that's beneficial for you, then just skip it. There's no need to just subscribe to it. That's my opinion. Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to look. They could be doing things for views and shit like this. My channel doesn't get like 1,000 views. I'm not Trader NJ. Like my man Trader NJ gets 2.6 thousand views. The freaking famous motherfucker this is, right? He needs to rap. That's what we need to get him to do. But as long as you get like you're benefiting from me. That's what I give a shit about. The fact that you can get something from me, right? So it's the same with everyone else. Do you gain anything from them, or are you losing your time and wasting your time? Okay, does that make sense? Elise is good. I'll tell you something about Elise. Elise he's sick, but he does his streams in Italian, I believe. On Twitch he does it. So, but he's a really these cigarettes. They're freaking Marlboro, man. Fucking yeah, man. No pay promo. There's that double fusion. It's like on duty free you get them a lot. Now before you used to get it in thingy. They're not that big. They're standard size, and it look next to my head. I got a small head. Are you doing subs now? That's right. He's a sick guy. I'll tell you something about Elise though. He's a legitimate good guy. I've got to know him a little bit through the bull run. Lovable guy. Got a lot of respect for him. He's with Crypto God John's crew as well. So he's one of the few sick traders I know. In terms of traders, I know SC XO is very swing. He's a very swing type of guy. There's NJ. I put myself up there. Fuck it. Yeah, I believe I'm sick. I believe I'm fucking good. And also Elise is another one. And I think that's about it in my opinion. But FMG is good. He's a very good scalper. He's a good kid as well too. But yeah, man. Man said no promo. Yeah, man, fucking no promo from this shit, man. I might get banned or some shit. Like on Twitter, if this goes on Twitter, they're like, yeah, Dainks is getting sponsored by Marlboro. I would love that. Pentoshi is good. Yeah, that's right. He's a very macro. He caught the top, you know. Fair play to the guy. Fair play to him. Pentoshi is good. And Bessa's another good one as well. Liz, you got a crush on FMG? He's a big built guy though. He's like 21 years old. He always chats to me every time when he's drunk. He always chats to me. And he's a funny lad. Yeah, he's a funny lad. We love you, Liz. So, yeah. Any other questions, guys? Before I head out? Ambessa is really good. He's OP, definitely, yeah. SC Pakistani and Bengali. He's both. He's half Pakistani, half Bengali. GC. Who's GCO? My camera switched off on me. Battery's dead on that. That's a problem with these fucking. Should have charged it anyway. Yeah, I'm Sri Lankan. Yo, have you seen that Sri Lankan? That fit bird, Sri Lankan bird? I'll show you. 1 second. Look on the YouTube. What's that? Beta Squad. Sri Lankan. This guy. I wouldn't mind being thinking Sri Lankan. Look at this chick, man. Let's put some volume here.
Lovely to meet you.
You like real models then? What country you from?
Guess?
Thailand. Way in your blood.
Somewhere with a sun.
Yes.
Hot.
Yes.
That's Thanos. Don't let it gas. That's Paraguay.
I'll give it up. Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sri Lanks, when they come like that. Ooh.
We have the same bracelet.
Great minds think alike.
She's rich. Yeah, you got okay, cool. Now, okay. So that's how I come out. I'm gonna say we have the same Rolex. Watch.
Yeah, man. Sri Lankan. I wouldn't mind being Sri Lankan if that's the kind of woman that's over there. Fair play, innit? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But the colour of her body. Liba, thingy, Liba, chill out, man. Chill out, there's ladies here. Liba is getting a bit happy there. Beta Squad, Sri Lanka, type that up. Oh, I'm never going to forget Nibal. I think I've just put Sri Lanka on the map just now, innit? But I'll tell you another thing. There was a girl at school, right? I forgot her name. I think her name was Lana or something like that. She was at university. She was Sri Lankan. She was a pretty girl, man. She was a pretty. I gotta say, man, Sri Lankans are pretty. Like girls I've seen, but I don't know about the guys. But yeah, that's it. That's it though. But yeah, man, let's call it a day there. Any more questions before we get sidetracked a bit more? Yeah, camera died on me. Yeah. All right then, I'm gonna call it a day actually, and then yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll go back on the. Yeah, it's the freaking thingy, man. Battery died, man. Never mind. I'm gonna charge it for next time anyway. But yeah, catch you guys later, man. Thank you so much for everyone. I mean, let's do a quick shout out to everyone that's on the stream. I mean, let's go to the top. Freaking hell, there's a lot of people here. We got Jay, we got Zdenek, we got Rolf, Yuki, NJ, we got Elizabeth, Brown Hulk, Valentine. Shout out to Asgard, Stano. We got Joel. We got Wei, Cryptique as well. We got I said Yuki already. Mitio. We got a bunch of people here, man. You got Nibal, who's all happy about Sri Lankans. I think I put it on the map. I got Imran Udin. Thank you so much for everyone for actually attending the show. Blessed to see you guys, man. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream, man. Take care, my Japanese and all my other brothers and sisters around the world. Love.